Okay, well, it was super nice starting off by talking about Yakuza 1 as the first game in the series we touch on, but unfortunately, next up we're gonna jump into Yakuza 3, so I don't quite get the satisfaction of talking about the series perfectly in narrative order nor release order. But Yakuza 3 is a very special entry in the series. I might call it the single most special entry for me personally. I am consistently surprised by and appreciative of how different each Yakuza soundtrack manages to be in vibe, and especially the music paired with the new beach town map of Ryukyu is very comfortably familiar to the beach towns that I frequent. The comparison between the more intimate, low-stakes conflict of Ryukyu contrasted with the intense, high-stakes conflict unfolding in Kamurocho gives the game a great sense of escalation. The life circumstance that we find Kiryu in allows for his adopted daughter Haruka to shine in a way that she never had a chance to before, rocketing her up to among my favorite characters in this series. As is also the case with Daigo, and newcomer to this story, Mine. If you haven't noticed in this series so far, I'm pretty choosy about when I decide to celebrate a villain character, and Mine was one that I was looking forward to getting to mention. To this point, I liked the antagonist of each Yakuza game I played more than the last, climaxing with this Grand Admiral Thrawn-esque, calculating, measured, yet still deadly Yakuza, who I was always thrilled to see on screen. He's scary without being sadistic, you can feel bad for him, while also feeling bad that you feel bad about him. Yakuza 3, like many games in the series, is pretty jam-packed with great characters. But really, there is one key element of this game that elevates it to that title of special for me, and it's not a spoiler at all, but if you've never played any Yakuza game, knowing even the basic details of 3 can imply things about the events of earlier games. Like, I have already spoiled for you that Kiryu doesn't die in Yakuza 1 and 2. I'm sorry about that. So I'm just giving people a chance to skip now if they want to know truly nothing about the overarching story of the Yakuza series. But seeing Kiryu fulfill his ultimate dream of opening an orphanage and being a father figure to those kids was immensely satisfying, fulfilling, and joyous to see. We finally got to see Kiryu be genuinely happy and content with his life, which made me feel happy and content because I had gone on all of his adventures with him. With this game, it's important to note that the manner in which you consume media will affect how you view it, obviously. When I started playing the Yakuza series, Kiryu's main story, consisting of Yakuza 0 up to 6, was already completed, and ready for me to play at my leisure. So knowing that I had 7 games with this guy plus a zombie spin-off made me okay with spending half of one of those games playing Dad Simulator with a bunch of elementary school kids. It felt like a novel offshoot that got to explore this protagonist in new and interesting ways. However, if I were a fan of Yakuza from day one and was waiting with bated breath for the release of Yakuza 3, the series' big debut on the PlayStation 3, I might have been less than enthused to have my organized crime punchy time broken up by having to help a 10-year-old pick out the right clothes to impress the girl he likes. But as it stands, Kiryu deserves to be happy. I wanted to see him happy. And throughout my time playing it, I couldn't help but be terrified of what this game, as well as Yakuza 4, 5, and 6, might have in store because I wanted to keep this piece for these characters intact by any means necessary. And that is an outstanding motivational force that this game gets to employ.